welcome everyone who's just joining us. Welcome to Claudia Alcelay, who is a CEO at EdTech in Spain. She loves developing methodologies to train and engage students in organizational transformation projects and processes, and particularly around project management. And she draws on techniques such as video games, virtual reality, 3D training simulators, and AI to increase online engagement. Thank you for joining us today, Claudia, and very interested to hear your talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Imogen. Thank you to the Learning Ideas Conference for having me here. Okay, I'm going to start since already it's the time to start. Okay, teaching Agile with films, I think that it requires to explain a bit what Agile means. In this short presentation, because I'm going to be like 20 minutes talk, and then you can ask me anything you want. I'm going to talk about what is Agile, that I think it's important to know because it really goes together with the films methodology. Then why films? Then I'd like to present you the teaching platform and our main goals, and then our lessons learned. And they are the most interesting part. So what is Agile? I don't know if you know what is Agile, but imagine I tell you that you have to produce 5 pens like this one. And you tell me, okay, this is going to cost you that much money and I'm going to provide them to you in 5 days. But imagine I tell you, I have money and I need to produce you something similar to this pen, but I'm not sure how is it going to be it scoped, okay? So it means a different approach to what is this project management. In the first scenario, you are going to have everything planned before it starts. You have the money, you have the scope, and you have the time. It can vary, but you still have the scope there. But in the second option, you need to work with the customer. You need to work in iterations. You have to be showing value in each iteration to your customer. So things change a lot. Communication with your customer is going to be vital. You are not going to provide this pen at the end of 5 days. You are going to work with your customer bit by bit in order for your customer and you to understand which is providing value to them. Okay, and the way you can integrate his or her comments in order to keep on developing a valuable outcome are going to be very important. As you can infer from this, teams are going to be important, collaboration, engagement, transparency, and also leadership styles. And in Agile, we call a kind of special leadership style that is called servant leadership. Understanding what is a servant leadership is the basis for an Agile approach to management. So as you can see, Agile has a lot of approaching soft skills. Okay, so what are we? I'm Claudia Alcelay, and I am, as you have already said, I'm part of a training consultancy. And we train about project management with different approaches related to what customers demand. Okay, so we found that doing Agile was not the same as being Agile. Okay, because Agile is said to be like a way of understanding life, a way of understanding relationships, a way of understanding of customers, the concept of transparency. So what could be better than teaching Agile with real life examples? Then films came into play. Okay, and why films? Okay, films help us understand reality. Okay, this is particularly true of soft skills. Movies are ideal resources for observing how protagonists behave. And then students can watch them, protagonists, in action as they make mistakes and accept or not responsibility for the consequences. So, and what is more, as an observer, you, a student, get a chance to confront situations where you may have behaved differently or where you can learn something and with which you may identify. So this is one of the reasons why I thought about teaching Agile with films, because Agile had a lot to do with skills, and it had a lot to do with observing people how to deal and how to apply those Agile skills. Another of the reasons was that films let you imagine alternatives and be creative, because watching a movie takes you into a fictitious world. Even though some of the stories you find can have things in common with your daily life, other not, but you are an observator. Okay, the distance between the observer and the action then provides a kind of safety and perspective to enable the student to suggest alternatives and then increase the creativity. So what is really important is that we create a kind of a secure environment for learning. There's no fear of getting things wrong. The learning environment couldn't be better. I think you can get why films could help us teach Agile. Okay, and the third reason why we choose teaching with movies was because when you watch a movie, you learn without realizing it. And then it's almost natural for the observer to come into the movie and apply what they learned there. For instance, I don't know if it happens to you, but when I am watching a series about lawyers, then suddenly I say, when I'm watching, I say, that is circumstantial evidence, even before they say that, because I keep on learning things, keep on learning vocabulary, keep on learning ways of behaving. Okay? I don't know if you know what I really mean by that. Okay, so learning with movies. So the movie that I thought at the beginning was Hoosiers. I don't know if you have seen this movie. Okay, this movie was made in 1986. And it has an outstanding and very cast, and very important cast, because it received 2 Oscar nominations, and it is based on a true story that tells of the trials and tribulations of a team that won the basketball championship of the state of Indiana in 1954. Maybe it rings a bell, no? So as I've told you, Agile framework revolves around the person. And in project management, using the Agile framework, there is a special focus on the relationships between team and customers, team stakeholders, and leaders and teams. So this focus on the aspect of relationships, improving collaboration between team members. And then can you think of an environment that is suited to applying this that in sports? So this movie, Hoosiers, gives you the chance to work on a project from start to finish. It contains crucial concepts, including winning a game, building a cohesive team, satisfying supporters, and having the best coach. And these concepts are viewed from an agile perspective, which means you will be able to address concepts like value, self-managing teams, service leadership, and iteration. So we found it a perfect match. Now I'm going to share the platform, the teaching platform. Let me have a look. Okay, perfect. So let me share it. This is the platform that we use in all our trainings. The training I'm going to show you now is Agile Project Management with movies. And first of all, I have to tell you that we have 3 main goals with this course in the platform. First of all, it's a course to teach content, agile content. It's not just that you're going to play, you are going to watch a film, it's that you are going to be taught. And this is what our customers or what our students really want, to finish the training and say, okay, yes, I've learned a lot. I've learned it in a kind of fun way, but I've learned a lot. The second objective or goal that we had with it was engagement. And I'm going to show you some of the resources we provided the student to this engagement. And then we introduced a competition kind of like among attendants. Okay, let's go to the content teaching. Okay, when you come to one of the training courses, what you have here is the platform, and then you have the dashboard, courses, the messages, and then the classroom that is for the teacher. Let's go to the courses, and I am as a student or as a teacher, I'm assigned different courses. This is Agile Project Management with movies, but I could have here all the trainings. Let's go to this one. Okay, how can we show that this content teaching is so important for us? Okay, all of our trainings have a kind of specific content or course outline, always a welcome where all the methodology is included in here. I will show it to you. Then we have a refresher of main concepts, and then we have the content of the course, and then we have a test, and we have the summary. Okay, in this way, the course seems to be quite simple, but it is very deep. Okay. So the course information sheet is going to show the student that this is something serious. Okay, you're going to watch a film, but the film is a very important and let's say very, very important for this teaching, but it is a lot more beneath it. Okay, goals for this content: you have to stimulate basic concept that an Agilist must know, identify and execute most common Agile practices, identify roles, understand what the Agile leadership style is, and many other goals. Okay, then the level of difficulty. We think that even though you are going to see how other people do things, okay, the most difficult things in here is to translate into your own and real world what you are learning. And in order to do so, we have a specific chapter in this training that I will show you later on that translate everything that you have learned into your real life. Okay, and then the structure of the course. And then we also, something important for us, the resources you are going to find in here. That is a kind of engagement thing, many games that I'm going to show them to you, the duration and the underlying methods. Everything that we teach in this platform has an underlying method. Nothing is, let's say, an invented methodology. Is based in the most recognized contents, okay, like the Project Management Institute, the Agile Alliance, Scrum Alliance, and many other surveys. Okay, this is what we have said on the content side. Okay, this is to show the student that this is something serious. We are going to do a really interesting training course, and this is in this last point. We said the path to your first sprint. This is not referred to the film at all, but it's referred to your own way, of applying what you have learned to your own circumstances. Okay, this is very important, as we will see later on in the lessons learned. Okay, so how are we going to achieve the engagement? Okay, the teacher is fundamental in here. Okay, in the messages section, the teacher is going to be interacting with them, with all the students. We have also here a kind of games. We have introduced game in each of this chapter. We have a game at the end, and the game at the end is a crossword. Okay, you have in here, you have the crossword, and as always, a methodology beneath. You have the activity title, the goal, the instructions, and the length of activity. You have 20 minutes to do this crossword. And we are going, as an example, we have here one horizontal project management framework that initially emerged as an alternative to waterfall. Could it be Agile? Let's check it. It would be, it is here, and it should be here. See how it's horizontal. So we're going to erase these ones because I don't think we're going to have it. Okay, and we're going to write in, let's see. Agile, yeah, it's in green. Okay, so these are different ways to keep on the engagement, to keep the engagement of the student. Okay, and all these small resources provide you a set of points. Okay, and we are going to link them to the competition that I'm going to show you later on. Okay, this will be the game that you can check here or reveal the correct answers. So all your answers will be here. Okay, well. This is one of the resources, but I want to show you a couple of more resources. Okay, in this refresher session, you'll go to refresher, you can go here and go to the who's this project. Who's this project? We come here. Okay, in the who's this project, we have, okay, this is a quite dense in content, okay? When you are going to refer to anything related to the film, this is, okay, this is the design, or the outline. But here you go and go on here, and you have the game. This game is a true or false game. You're going to say, okay, this is good, but you are going to dip a bit more into the content you have learned and say, operations and like project involve repeatedly executing an action. You say true, or maybe you can say false, true, and then you're going to check your answer. Okay, I have 3 wrong answers and 2 are correct. But in a sense, this also helps you learn, keep on learning, okay? So, and you can mark this as red, and this is going to give you some points too. Okay, everything that you are doing interacting with the platform is going to provide you specific points. If you go here to versus agile versus predictive, okay, you come in here, you're going to have games, but you have also very important resource, okay? You are going to work with film, so it is important you have some film parts, small portions embedded into the course. And you can see here, you have this one is embedded. This is in order to explain you about different styles in management. So, okay. Okay, you are supposed to have watched this film, but these small fragments reinforce your learning process. Okay, and then you have here Birds of a Feather, which is another game. As you can see, these are different resources that we use for engagement purposes. And I've told you that we also have a kind of competition, and this is in the ranking. Okay, this really works a lot, works very, very well with an agile team. Okay, with agile, you have to use different resources in a daily work, like you have dailies, you have reviews, you have different scenarios that take place while developing a project with an agile methodology. And the way you can get all those people involved in a project with different, let's say, gaming or attracting resources is going to be very, very good. I mean, if you are going to have all the team, and you want to have the team to attend to the dailies are 15 minutes of a meeting, let's say at 9 in the morning, and all of the team comes to the meeting, and you tell them, okay, if all of the teams come to the meeting on time during 1 month, I'm going to invite you to a coffee. It could be a virtual coffee. Then these kind of things are very important for an agile team, because it gives them the sense of belonging to a team. And we have done this in the ranking. Okay, in the ranking, when you start this course, you say, okay, the ranking is going to provide you points with the interaction you have with the platform. We're not going to tell them which interactions provide more points than other points, but they have to be interacting all time. So maybe this student knows that he or she has 260 points, and say, okay, this is your performance with the platform. And they say, okay, group ranking, you are ranked 2 among 2 or among 8 people. This sounds great. And you need to earn 865 points more to become the leader. Good. And then they tell you, oh, global ranking among all the students of this training course. So that's amazing. Okay. And when you tell the students that you're going to give them, let's say, a breakfast, that your organization, that your business is going to send the winner of this course a breakfast, everybody is really, in the mood of interacting a lot with the platform, engaging a lot with the platform. There's a kind of competition among them that for us has been really, really interesting. Okay, nothing more from the platform. And now I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going just to go to the lessons learned. Okay, lessons learned with this training course and with the development of the methodology for this training. First of all, you need to have really clear what you want to teach. and which your key concepts are, because not all concepts, not all objectives are liable to be taught with a film. This is very important. Second one, choosing a film is an experience in itself. You can say that classical films are really attractive from a teaching perspective because they have an structure. But students, at least for us, they really demand really modern films. Yeah, you have to be really careful with the title of the film that you choose because it's an attraction or not to the learners. Then another very important thing that we have learned is that you really need to refer to the film every time you make a question or comment, referring to the film every time, because if not, the films comes into, is perceived like a soft supporting resource. Okay, the film needs to be there in every single comment that you do, every single activity that you place. Then you need to bring the concepts down to earth and include a practical session where students can practice outside the film. The film is great. It helps you visualize what you're learning, but the students need to go, need to come down to earth, doing and applying concepts to the daily life. And you need to explain the prize or the award that the best student will get at the end and play with it. Use it a kind of resource, a training resource in itself. And I think I've done most of my time, and we have still 9 minutes to questions.
Great, fantastic. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you so much. So if anyone has any questions, if you can type those into the chat. And meanwhile, I'd like to start with a question. I was interested in your rankings, and I can see how that could be very sort of motivating for people. How did you find those work with the team dynamics? Because obviously the rankings that you were showing us, I think, were for individuals, and you could win as an individual, but they're also working in a team.
Yeah, yes, this training is thought to be for a team, not for a person, for a team. Then each time we meet, that at the end of each of the chapters, all the team and the teacher meet. Yes. And the teacher tells them, oh, I'm going to tell you which is by now the winner of this ranking. And you say, okay, you are the winner. Oh, the second one is this person. Please be careful. What I've seen is that the winner is really interacting with the platform. Can you tell us which activities have been more, nicer to you to answer? We create a kind of a discussion about the platform itself. And at the end of the course, we provide the winner of the training. Okay, more or less they know who the winner is because it's there in the ranking. But at the end of the training, we present it like all the let's say the human resources department comes to the meeting, the teacher is in the meeting, students are in the meeting, and there's like a kind of official prize or award for them. So that's the way we integrate it. It's a kind of funny resource. It's for fun. It's for fun. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. That's interesting. And I was interested also in your use of the film of an existing film. So yes, that's a really interesting approach. And do you find that they all dutifully watch it at the start of the course as they are supposed to do, or do some of them not?
So some of the people, they say that they have seen the film like 2 or 3 years ago, but the thing is that we keep on asking about the film from the very first day. If not, the film is seen as nothing so important for the course. So the first day that they realize they have to be, okay, they have to watch the film again. So they are films to be watched with family. Okay, they can watch them in weekends or, and they realize they have to watch it because if not, they are lost in the classes. Yes. Yeah. So this is the way we have to get them into the film.
And do they watch it online, or they can watch it on a platform?
Yes, not in the platform, because we don't have the permissions to show them or display them. But we provide them with the links where they can have a look at them in a legal way. You can go to Netflix, or you can go, this one is in another platform, or you can go there, or you can open a trial account in order to watch only this if you don't want to open an account. And where we try to, all our films are in very recognized platforms, in very known platforms.
Fantastic. And I've got another question here from Dr. Anu. Do we follow any agile principles in movie making, and who are the stakeholders here?
Do we follow any agile principles in movie making? Yes, okay. This one, I don't know if I understand you, Dr. Anu, but we teach a lot of principles, agile principles. We teach them principles and values in here, and we work on them. And this is a very good film to show how an agile way of perceiving a project collides with a more prescriptive and traditional way of approaching a project. Because we have the coach. The coach is agile in himself because he wants to keep on learning match by match. But the parents and the rest, the previous trainers, they want to be very prescriptive. They know what to do from the beginning till the end of the season. So this is a very good way to understand different principles of Agile. Yeah, for us, it was a really good film for that. Yes.
And I think there was also a question about who the stakeholders.
The stakeholders in this film were parents, were stakeholders, but also the principal of the school. Okay, there were two main stakeholders because all of them had the right to comment on the coaching style. So the managerial style, there is one point that is at risk, the coach managerial style, and the way he manages all the process show us a lot about how an agile coach has to deal with all stakeholders, communication with them, but also be sure about the way they have to keep on evolving. And also the team itself was used to old tradition, like it was a person who was the leader of the team, but was, so a bit unrespectful of the laws of the main rules of the team. But all those things had to be dealt, and they are also stakeholders for this coach that is a great manager, agile manager.
Fantastic. Well, I think we're coming close now to the end of our time. So thank you again, Claudia, for this very interesting session. And we'll draw to a close. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks all. Thanks to you. Thank you. Bye.